Hola guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Roxanne. If it's your first time here, then welcome. As you guys may or may not know, June is Pride Month, so I wanted to go through my bookshelves and pick up some recommendations for you guys to read in the upcoming month, and really just throughout the year, because it is always a good time to read queer lit. So the first is The Gods of Tango by Carolina de Robertis. This is an Argentinian novel about a woman who arrives from Italy in Buenos Aires. Her husband dies and she sort of has to find a way to live. She comes across the tango and falls absolutely head over heels for it, except that because tango at the time is seen as a vulgar and really not something, you know, high class or high society, in addition to the fact that women are not allowed to play it, she begins to impersonate a man, and it is about her life living as a man, dressing as a man, in order to do the thing that she loves the most. And there's a beautiful love story that develops through her life as well. His life, she kind of uses both throughout, and they kind of go back and forth, so I'm never really 100% sure what pronoun to use, but Leda is what she's called throughout. So yeah, Carolina de Robertis has such a wonderful way of writing. If you enjoy descriptive writing, if you enjoy lyrical writing, dreamlike writing, this will be right up your alley. Some nonfiction, we have Redefining Realness, My Path to Womanhood, Identity, Love, and So Much More by Janet Mock. This is a memoir written by Janet Mock about her transitioning into the person that she always felt she was, and sort of presenting herself as such, and her family, her journey, everything that she had to go through. It was very impactful and very powerful. Then we have When They Call You a Terrorist, Black Lives Matter, a Black Lives Matter memoir by Patrice Khan-Cullors and Asha Bandel. So Patrice Khan-Cullors, I believe, is the main author of this, and she is a queer individual, and she talks about that within the memoir as well. This is really a story about them and how they came to create the movement of Black Lives Matter, not necessarily like a step-by-step of how they got there, but just impactful moments in their lives that led them to see the need and take action to create this movement. And so it was a great read. And then we have some poetry. It is Even This Page is White by Vivek Shreya, and she's a trans Canadian author. I really enjoyed this last year. It talks a lot about masculinity, femininity, societal expectations, art, literature. It talks about a lot of different topics, and I really enjoyed it. Then we have a young adult superhero novel called Not Your Sidekick by C.B. Lee. This stars our main character is an Asian bisexual character, and this was really fun. Nothing too impactful or anything like that, but it was just really fun and really cute. And they talk a lot about different things that would matter to a teenager and to a person who identifies as bisexual, with friends of different sexualities, and it was fun. It was really cute. Then we have Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I don't know if this is Own Voices, but I don't know how Taylor Jenkins Reid identifies as far as her sexuality goes. But regardless, this is a wonderful novel about Cuban actress Evelyn Hugo, who has 7 husbands, but also the true love in her life. And it is beautifully rendered, and I couldn't put it down. And there's a lot of different complex topics that are discussed. It talks about race and womanhood and sexuality, and I really recommend it. It was one of my favorite books of last year. Then we have The Paying Guest by Sarah Waters. This was my first Sarah Waters, and I think because of that, it is really near and dear to my heart. It is about this mom and daughter who, in order to make some money, rent part of the house, their house, to a couple, and it is about how the relationship that develops between the daughter and the woman in the couple. And it is, I mean, peak Sarah Waters. She's just a beautiful writer. The way she writes women and the way she writes relationships is just astounding. So I loved it. I will be reading one of hers hopefully for June, during June this year as well. Then we have Giovanni's Room by James Baldwin. I mean, you cannot ever go wrong with James Baldwin. His writing is exquisite, and this is about the relationship between two men, and it takes place in 1950s Paris, and it is in such a short amount of time. It talks about so many different things in really a way that only James Baldwin can, and I highly recommend it. Unfortunately, it is the only James Baldwin that I've read, and I really need to rectify that. Then we've got some graphic novels and comics. Giant Days. It is about 3 friends who are in college, and one of them is a lesbian, and I love this so much. It is so funny and so like quirky and endearing. I love it. We have a graphic memoir called Fun Home, a Family Tragicomic by Alison Bechdel, and this focuses on the relationship between her and her father. Trigger warning for emotional abuse and pedophilia, if I am not mistaken. This is a somber read. It's difficult at times, but overall you can really feel everything that she's telling you. And Alison Bechdel, I believe, identifies as a lesbian, so here's this one. Then we have Honor Girl by another graphic memoir by Maggie Thrash, and this is about when she was in 15 years old, and she was in summer camp and discovering herself, coming into her own, and also meeting a woman that she begins to have feelings for, and how she deals with that and how her friends deal with that, and everything, the relationship, how that develops. Know that the woman that she does fall for is older than her and in a position of power within the summer camp, so keep that in mind when going into it. And last but not least, we have The Prince and the Dressmaker by Jen Wang, and this is probably one of the cutest books that I have read recently. I love it so much, and it is about this young woman who's a dressmaker, and she comes in contact with this extravagant fashionista woman that she absolutely loves, and the woman loves her dressmaking abilities, and they become friends. And in doing so, she finds out that it is actually the prince who likes to dress up at night as a woman in these extravagant, beautiful gowns, and has this other persona, and it is about their friendship and their love and the secrets they keep for each other. And it's just all about acceptance, and accepting someone exactly as they are, and it is beautiful, and I love it so much. So those are some suggestions for you guys to read, both next month and beyond. Let me know what some of your favorites are, what you'll be reading next month. As always, thank you for watching and listening. I love you guys very much.